Hello children, welcome to English language class. Today we are going to discuss about one particular technique on how to improve your composition. So today's topic is organizing paragraphs and ideas. So by the end of this particular session, you will be able to understand how to organize your composition, and a very important aspect is how to make a right choice of topic when you choose a composition. Because if the topic is not something that is out of your interest, the entire composition may become a little dry. So it is basically your choice on how to make your composition interesting. But why? Why is it so necessary that we have to organize our ideas? Basically because it gives a logical arrangement to the entire composition and it brings in clarity. And it's a very good check on whether you are repeating the same ideas again and again. So that is a basic reason why we need to have a clear idea on how are we going to arrange the ideas in our paragraphs and how are we going to arrange the paragraphs itself. So let us check. Before we are going into much deeper into numbering our paragraph. This is a very important aspect. The punctuations, the commas, the double inverted that you use in your writing. These are two examples, same words but different meanings, and see how the inverted commas are changed and the commas are changed themselves and how the entire meaning changes. The criminal, says the judge, should be hanged. This is a statement, but if I misplace the commas and double inverted, this is how it is going to sound. The criminal says the judge should be hanged. So now you will be able to understand how important commas and double inverted, basically your punctuations, are. So make sure that whenever you attempt a writing, maybe any kind of writing, you are thorough with the punctuation part. Otherwise, you will end up killing the judge. So moving on, there is a power in your composition, which means it starts with the plan, then you organize, then comes the writing. Before you give your composition to the teacher, you edit it, and there's a last part where you revise it. Planning is basically you choose a topic of your interest and something that you know about. Organize is basically the three categories where you write an introduction, the body of the entire composition, and the conclusion. Writing is the writing part where you develop your ideas, where you develop the three categories. Editing is the part where you recheck your composition related to errors that might come in the facts, spellings or grammar. Then comes the revising part where it does the final reading, and this is a very important aspect because many a time students just write the composition and hand it over to the teacher, where it can come into the teacher finding lots of grammatical errors which you yourself could have corrected it. So make sure that you reread your composition before you submit it. So there's a power in your composition. You need to plan, organize, write, edit and revise. Okay. This is one method that we have already done in our class, method 1, where I give you the question and I give you the hints in hyphenated form. I have already told you that whenever you start writing your composition, you have to jot down your points, and this is one method of it. If my topic is childhood memories, my subheadings would be early memories, my house, my room, parents, relatives, first day at school and so on. But every time after every point I put a hyphen telling that this is the next point that I want to use in my composition. This is one method. But there is one more effective method, something that you can also adopt for. This is called a web diagram, that is method 2, which means that there will be a pictorial representation of your composition before you start writing the actual composition. And in this you will start numbering your paragraphs. Let us see how. Okay. This is a web diagram where I have put childhood memories in the center because that is my topic, and then I have started numbering each of my paragraph. Early memories is my first paragraph and probably that will be my introductory paragraph. Then comes point number 2, my parents, 3, my house, my room, relatives, first day at school, friends and neighbors, special events could be my conclusion. So why is it that this is important? See, every point is in the form of a circle, which means that every point is linked to each other, which means that we cannot water compartmentalize any one of the aspect. So that is why I have given it a round shape. And look at the numbers. For each point I have given a number. and it is easy for me to interchange the number if I want to change the position of one paragraph. and this is an easier work to do. In the other method, I have to strike off the entire line, but this time it is easier for me, which means that after early memories, if I want to talk about my home, I can put my house as number 2 and my parents will go after that. So this is how I paragraph my entire composition. But is this enough? No, our activity is not yet over. What will I write in each paragraph? That is also important. That is called developing ideas. So in developing ideas, I take one aspect of the paragraph. Here I have taken special events and I will write what all should be included in special events. It could be the birthday that I celebrated, a family holiday that we all enjoyed, a pet that I always wanted in my life and how my parents gifted it to me. So in special events, that one particular paragraph, I have 3 subtopics, 3 main ideas that I want to put forward. So see, now everything is in logical order. First thing, you have jotted down all your points that you want to write in your composition. Second thing, you have given ideas. What all should be included in one particular paragraph, again you have jotted down the ideas. So there is a very good chronological order in how your composition is coming up. What will be the result? You will be having a very good logical composition in front of you. Let's try a question this time. You have recently been to a World Book Fair where you came in contact with a group of foreign students. Write an account of their appearances, clothes, mannerisms and anything else that you found interesting about them. So this is the question, and how do we do it? I am going to give you certain hint and you will have to do the web diagram based on this hint. The hints are: I, along with 2 friends, went to the World Book Fair held at Marine Drive, met a group of young men and women from Japan, casually dressed, became friends, lively, energetic, studious, interested in books on Indian history and culture, willingness to learn about India and Indians, keen to visit Buddhist shrines and places of pilgrimage, deeply religious, impressed with their general outlook, power of observation, a memorable meeting. So here I have given you all the hints. So the homework that you have to do is, based on that particular hints that I have given you, you will have to number the paragraph, which means you have to do a web diagram. And when you have written down all the 9 paragraphs or 8 paragraphs that you can do based on the hints, I want you to develop one of the paragraph, that is develop one idea. All this should be done in a pictorial method where I have shown you in the previous slides how to do a web diagram and how to develop your ideas. It's not compulsory that you have to use only the hints that I have given. You can develop your own ideas. That is always welcome. So that's all for today's class. Till we meet again, be healthy, keep smiling and be positive. Thank you, children.